So you want to open up a mattress store, huh? Or maybe a mattress and furniture store. Well, I'm going to give you step-by-step advice on how to do it, because I don't think I've seen any other videos on actually trying to get you to how to help you open up a store. So a couple of things. Obviously, you have to come up with a name. I opened up my first company called Hollywood Mattress. Now, this was in 2013. I opened up because I opened up in a part of town called North Hollywood. And I just figured, Hollywood, let's do that. Actually, it was my friend who came up with the name Hollywood Mattress. And then when I opened up my second location, it's like, oh, you should call it West Covina Mattress. I'm like, no, it's Hollywood Mattress. It's a chain. When I opened up my third location, you should call it Studio City Mattress, because that's another city here in Los Angeles. And I knew he was an idiot. So I closed my business during COVID, reopened up 2.5 years ago. Time to Sleep was my second choice for names. My very first name I ever wanted was Free Mattresses, because I figured if someone saw a sign from the street that said free mattresses, they would stop by. But, fortunately, I didn't go with that. So Time to Sleep it is. And now I think that's a much better name than anything else I've come up with. So coming up with a name is what you need to do first, obviously. People usually do that. Seller's permits or resale license, whatever it's called in your state. Over here in California, it's free. You could just go online to the government site. Register your business, give either a home address or a business address. Now you can open up as a sole proprietor or like an S Corp or an LLC. You can register this online. Don't pay companies to do it for you where you're spending like hundreds of dollars, maybe even $1,000 or more. It's like $80. You just go online and you just register your business. That's super, super simple. So you get that done. You want to find a place. Usually how it works is you are getting a lease done. I don't know anyone who's ever bought a building to then open up a mattress store, but sign usually over here, at least here in California, it's first month's rent and security deposit. So let's say that first month's rent is $3,000. I'm just throwing out that number there. That's really cheap here, by the way. Security deposit would be an equal amount, so $6,000. Sometimes you may be asked to put up multiple months of security deposit, which could be, 2 months, 3 months. It could be $9,000, $12,000 total if you're using that $3,000 number right there. Always negotiate on the lease, because if you're getting a spot like my current spot, 7,000 square feet, got it for an extremely good deal. And I also negotiated many months of free rent because they had been empty for a year. And over here in downtown Los Angeles, even though I'm in the best part of downtown, parking is horrible. There is no parking. It's all street parking, street metered parking. People have to pay to come to my store, or they have to pay to park the car in a parking lot, which is $20. So, I kind of played off that, got some work done, put down a security deposit and a 2-month security deposit and 1 month rent. So we got that taken care of right there. And then on top of that, you have to get suppliers. So go ahead, find whichever company you want to work with. Usually a good Google search. Let's say you want to carry Tempur-Pedic, Simmons, Serta, Sealy, whoever. A lot of these companies are owned by one big umbrella company, like Tempur-Pedic owns Stearns & Foster, and they also own Sealy. Contact them, speak to the rep, let them know that you want to open up a store, work on getting floor samples. Now, sometimes you will get floor sample discounts. If you're a business owner, you know what I'm talking about. It's extremely helpful. So find the suppliers you want to work with. Some of the very high-end showrooms might be, 2,000 square feet, and they'll just place 5 or 6 mattresses in there, make it look really nice on the inside. My budget wasn't that high. I'm pretty much pack them in, pack them deep. I have over 80 mattresses on the sales floor. I carry most of the online companies, and I carry a lot of the legacy brands, brands that are more popular, like, Simmons, and I carry King Coil. But online companies, it's everything by Brooklyn Bedding, Lisa, Puffy, Helix. Well, Puffy isn't part of Brooklyn Bedding. Puffy's Puffy. But anyway, so pick out your inventory, come up with a floor plan, how you want to place it. I place all of my most expensive mattresses. I'll see if I can show you here. I place all of my expensive mattresses up front. Because when people come in, you want them to see the good stuff. Now, there are plenty of times people have walked into my store and they're like, for example, they'll see this mattress right here, and then they'll just walk out because they're like, that's $3,200. Everything must be that price here. Well, I used to put my cheaper mattresses up front. The thing is, you put your cheapest mattress up front, your doorbuster, for example, that $299, $399 mattress, if the person likes it, you can't show them anything else because they'll think that you're trying to take advantage of them, upsell them. So if they lay down on that really cheap mattress and they like it, there's no chance for you to really go up. Now, if they look at a very expensive mattress and like, hey, that's not within my budget, then you can go down. It's just so much easier to work that way. It's called top-down selling. I learned that when I sold TVs and stereos back at Dow Stereo in San Diego. So up front, right as you walk in, I call it the Jumbo Black. $12.99 queen mattress, cooling fabric. Not too cheap, not tremendously expensive. That's around the price range most people in this area will want to spend, $1,000. Even though my average ticket's about $3,000 plus, because people want good mattresses here, and they can afford them, which is very, very helpful. So, so go ahead and pick out the mattresses that you want. You are going to have to more than likely get signage, so you have to get permits for that. You have to have people come over, put up a sign. Google the name of my company, Time to Sleep. You'll see my sign up front. It's pretty nice. And I negotiated down from $6,000 to $3,400. So I was very happy with myself there. So once you have that in place, you start setting up the entire showroom. This is my top floor right here. And I also have a bottom floor, which I will show you. Because I have about 50 mattresses on the first floor. But my bottom floor, let's go take a look at it. I've never shown this on camera. And I need to turn on the light. Okay, here we go. Oh, yep, forgot to turn the light when I came in. So I have a bunch of mattresses here. Look at that. I put all my box springs right here, and I still have room for about another maybe 20 mattresses. What I'm going to do is have room for about maybe 10 back there, and then some more right here in the middle, and that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, focus on whether or not you want to carry entry-level, mid-level, or higher-end products. I carry an assortment of things. As a matter of fact, I overdid it at this location here because I ordered a bunch of entry-level mattresses because at my other location, my average ticket was about $600, $700, $800. Those inexpensive mattresses completely tanked here. People want to sleep well, and they're willing to pay more money to get a better mattress. So I went all in. And speaking of all in, figure out what you want to do. Don't do half furniture, half mattresses. Don't go in and bring in a bunch of recliners and mix it in with mattresses, especially in a smaller showroom. It's confusing for people. I know a guy that opened up a store literally within a week of me reopening up my store in West Covina. Nice guy. I'm not going to call out the name or anything, but he didn't go all in on mattresses. He had furniture in there. He had recliners. He had massage chairs are okay. But his selection of mattresses was maybe about 15 mattresses in a showroom that was probably about 2,500, 3,000 square feet. And he's closing his doors, sadly. I go all in on mattresses, but what I do on top of that, here, I'll just show you. At this location, I really don't have much in the way of furniture on display. My other store does. But I do get catalogs. So when people sit down to order a mattress, they can look through the catalogs right here. And they could pick out something. Let me do this here. So they could pick out something. That is a great way to upsell, because let's say someone's buying a $1,000 mattress and your cost is, let's say, $500. They're like, oh my gosh, you know what? We're going to order a bed frame at Ashley or buy it off Amazon or go somewhere else. They buy a $500 bed frame off you, where your cost is, let's say, $250. You just made $250. And because you're delivering it with the mattress, you could set it up and assemble it, and you could either do it for free or you could charge. It's up to you. I then also have it easy for financing. You know, I have this Synchrony thing right there. They could scan that QR code and see if they're approved for 12 months, 36 months interest, or whatever you want to offer without a hard credit pull. So you got your seller's permit, you got your signage, you negotiated your lease. I negotiated, at least here, 5 years. And my rent only goes up $200 a year. It's a pretty sweet deal. And I have a 5-year extension. So if I want to lock it in for another 5 years, at the market rate I'm currently paying, I'm gold. Chef's kiss. I had one property. It was over in Studio City, California, where it was a bad deal for me. It was a very bad deal. I had a very low teaser rate, but the rent shot up. What was it, like $500 a year? And it was such a bad thing to do. You know, just try to get it to where it's maybe like a 2% or 3% increase per year, because the rents do go up. But, you know, $500, that was like, gosh, 15, 20% every year. I was looking at getting out of that lease because the business, while it was good, it didn't warrant the price I was paying for that. Location is extremely important. Do not open up in like some sort of off the beaten path place, hidden strip, someplace in a strip mall that's hidden, or like a warehouse, industrial type warehouse. You want people to drive by or walk by and see your store. Demographics are also extremely important. If the average income is, let's say, $30,000 or $40,000, you're not going to be getting many high ticket sales, and you're going to have to deal in volume. That's how my other store is right now. It's a very blue collar area, and average ticket there, it's like I said, $600, $700, $800. Whereas over here, it's 4 times as much. So yeah, location's also very important. Set the hours that you want to work. A lot of people want that work-life balance. Not for me. No kids. I'm single. I can care less. I work 7 days a week. But if you're going to work a lot, maybe work 11 to 7, which was my schedule up until recently. Now it's 10 to 8 because I kept coming in. I kept missing phone calls at 10 o'clock, 10:15. Had one lady one time at my West Covina store. I get in at 11 o'clock. Now, by the way, anytime someone calls me up, even if they don't leave a message, I call them back. I'm like, hey, this is Bruce with Time to Sleep. I had a missed call from this number. Was there something I can help you out with? So, because I opened up at 11 and not 10, I called her back like 11:10. She's like, oh, I saw these mattresses online. I know you carry them. I wanted to order 4 of them. It was a Lisa Legend mattress. They're like $2,000 plus. And that was an $8,000, almost a $9,000 sale I would have had just by picking up the phone. And I probably lost about $5,000 that day. She had bought it from someone else who was open at 10 o'clock. She called them up at 10:10. Oh, well, live and learn. So you got your hours there. Find out if you're going to be an owner-operator or if you're going to hire someone. Now, no one works as hard as the owner. If your intention is to open up this type of business and then hire someone full-time, you're probably not going to do well. And I'll tell you why. Well, first off, I'm a top-tier sales guy. I'm really good at what I do. I'm probably better than most. Not bragging, it's just kind of the way it is. If you're good at sales, do it yourself until you make enough to where you can hire someone. If you're just going to hire someone initially, you're going to be paying that person $3,000, $4,000 a month, and you might not even make enough to cover their expenses. You might do $10,000 your first month in sales. That's $5,000 profit. Now you're, paying however much it is for your rent, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Plus you're paying another $3,000, $4,000 to the guy that you hired while you think you could just sit back and, enjoy that Mai Tai on the beach. No. And then you're spending another maybe a couple of thousand on advertising. Work it first, learn the business, become good at it. And then afterwards, once you become good at it and you think you can set it on autopilot, you can then hire someone. And even then, it's still a risk. I hired a guy with 9 years of sales experience that came recommended by 2 people, 2 reps in my area. And this guy couldn't even write a quarter of what I was writing. I had to let him go. So anyway, totally separate rant. I think I talked about that in the previous video. Presentation. Presentation's very important for, at least to me. Some people could care less where they walk in and, who's helping them or what it looks like. One thing I do know is that if your place does not look that appealing, in the back of the person's mind, the customer's mind, they're going to have that, is this guy going to be around next year or in 6 months if there's a problem? So if your place doesn't look presentable, people are not going to feel comfortable shopping there. Why would someone want to spend, now granted, if it's a $300, $400 mattress, they don't care where they go. But if it's a $1,000, $2,000, let's say a $5,000 deal, if your place looks like crap, they're probably not going to feel comfortable shopping there. That's why when you go to places like Mattress Firm or let's say Ashley Furniture, you'll get people spending $5,000, $10,000 on, mattress with adjustable base. They'll get it on some sort of finance program because they believe that company is going to be there. They believe that is a long-term company and they're comfortable spending that money. If they're not comfortable, they're not going to spend that much. And that's why over here, it's not anywhere near what I want it to look like, but I get people spending money here because I have great product. It's clean. The presentation, even though it's cramped, I think it looks pretty good. And I'm also the only store in downtown Los Angeles, and it takes 25 miles to drive Sorry, 25 minutes to drive 5 miles here. So convenience factor is also there. I'm on a main strip, a main artery of town. It's called Pico Boulevard. And it's in South Park, downtown Los Angeles, 2 blocks away from where the Lakers play and the convention center. And I live 2 blocks away as well. So I just walk to work. It's extremely convenient. When you do open up your business, you are presented the opportunity of buying a truck or hiring out for deliveries. Do not buy a truck. Don't go out and spend $50,000 on a Sprinter van or more on a box truck. You do that when you are set and you know that you want to pursue this. Go out, hire people in your area and contract out for deliveries. I pay anywhere from $50 to $150 per delivery, but I'm also not tied into having $1,000 or $1,500 vehicle loan if it's not paid off in full. Plus, I'm not paying 1 or 2 people a salary or hourly to do deliveries. So I offset everything by contracting out for my deliveries. Sometimes I'll do my deliveries myself. At my other location, I always park my little Dodge Ram long bed. And, if a customer came in, hey man, I live 2 blocks away, a mile away. I don't want to pay $50 or $80 for delivery. You know what? I would say to them, look, you know what? If we can do it tonight, I close up shop at 7:00. I'll tell you what, I won't set it up for you, but I'll do a free drop-off delivery. I'll pull up in my truck. I'll help you take it to the front door. That's free. Most people are like, perfect. All they need is just someone to just take it to the house and they can get it from there. Now, if you want full service, that costs extra. Sometimes I would cover it depending on the deal. It just really depends. But if someone's buying like a $300 mattress where my cost is $200, I'm not going to hire someone to pay them $80 to do a delivery. And, maybe I'll drop it off for free if I did it on my own. But yeah, anyway, got off track there. Don't buy a truck. Don't buy a truck. Don't buy a truck. That's a waste of money. Unless you're coming in with a huge bankroll, it's a waste of money. I've literally opened up every mattress store I've ever had, with the exception of the downtown location, for around $20,000 or less. My cheapest store cost me $9,000, like $9,800, all in first month's rent, security deposit, and floor samples. So it can be done. I know how to open up stores cheap. I know how to open up stores that are presentable, and I know how to open up stores fast. It's never taken me longer than a few weeks to be up and running. I once opened up, I think it was my Tempe, Arizona location. I think it was like 13, 14 days, had it all set up, including signage. And I was advertising and off to the races. So we have that. Your seller's permit, you signed a lease, brought in inventory. As I said, called the manufacturers that you want to work with, try to work out some deals and getting floor samples. Some companies in the past used to be, well, if you carry all of our mattresses, we'll give you all the floor samples for free. I don't think they do that anymore, but hey, it doesn't hurt to ask. Am I missing anything else? If you have any other questions about opening up your own mattress store, and by the way, this does apply to furniture as well. If you want to open up a furniture store, maybe have a little mattress gallery, you can do that too. But yeah, if you have any other questions, leave a comment below. I'll try to answer them. Now, I'll be very straight up front here. Over the years, I've been asked hundreds of times for advice on opening up a mattress store. I stopped giving free advice, person to person, and this is why. Literally every person who I gave free advice to, even if I spent hours and hours with them, never opened up the store because, hey, I'm giving out free advice. There's no value in that. So if you want hands-on consulting, I do offer it for a fee, but I don't go in depth anymore. I had one guy fly down from San Francisco unannounced trying to pick my brain on opening up a business. And no, I still refuse to do it. And I reached out to him like 4 or 5 months later, and he's like, I decided to do something else. I would have put all that time and effort into helping him. He still would have never have opened up a store. So anyway, Bruce with Time to Sleep. Yeah, that's it. Talk to you guys later.